Today guys, I'm going to take you through how to cut down Shimano brake hoses. Today I'm going to take you through how to cut down your brake hoses. When you buy a new set of brakes or you buy a bike, you usually want to cut them down to roughly how you want them, depending on what width bars you've got, what forks you're running, whatever. So I've got a new set of brakes here today and I'm basically going to show you how to cut it down, how to measure how long the hose needs to be in the first place. So yeah, let's get cracking. I'll just get cracking then, shall I? So first things first, my brakes have come and they're a sealed unit, so you can see they've got this white little plug here. That's basically to stop you being able to pull the brake lever in, and it's got this yellow little plug on this side, so that's a sealed unit. Also the brake hose has got this little bung end on it sort of thing. So at the moment no oil's going to go anywhere until we start cutting things. So you're going to want to find out how long you want it. To do this, I hold the hose and put it up against the brake lever, roughly where I think it's going to be. And I take my bars and spin them round. So this, obviously, if I'm riding like this, I've got a problem, but it's usually because I've crashed. So I like to make sure that my wheel can do a complete 180 and face the other way without the hose being too short. So you just hold it up against there, and that hose is just butting up against the frame. So I basically just hold it with my finger where I want it, spin it back, and now I know I'm not going to let go of that because I know that's exactly where I want it cutting. So when it comes to cutting the hose, you can either do it with one of these tools. I really advise you buy one of these because I've not had this very long, but it's actually my favourite tool in the toolbox. It's a really horrible looking tool, loads of weird bits to it, and I'm not going to lie, it took me about half an hour to work out what the hell it was when I first got it. But it's got this little bit on the side, that's the bit that cuts the hose. There's a blade that comes across there and it cuts it so clean and flush. That bit's what we're going to use now, and then this bit will be the bit which presses the insert into the hose. So again, don't let go of where you want it to cut it, and then I know I'm just going to cut just in front of where my thumbnail is. I'm going to place the hose into the little tool, and I can see the blade where it's about to cut. You can see it there, and I'm just going to hold it nice and firm and do that. Oof, so beautiful. At that point, a little bit of oil might come out, so if you're doing it in your mum's living room, bear in mind to put some newspaper on the floor. Just clear my throat. Get hold of this massive alien unusual tool. This whole thing opens up. You don't want to lose this bit, that's the bit that pushes it in. And basically you just lie this in there. Just lie it in there. Slot that over so it just sits in there nicely. And basically, I need to move it up a little bit. This blue thing clamps the hose in place, so I'm just going to clamp the hose in place. So now this hose is attached inside, and then you pretty much just close it like a grip strength thing. You just close it like that and you can see it sliding in. So this is a good example because I don't think it's gone fully, oh, it has gone flush in, but if the insert hasn't gone fully flush up against the hose, it's not a problem. Just flip this open again and then push the hose. Sometimes it gets a little bit stuck. You just got to wiggle it, there we go, it's released. Push the hose a little bit further along and then re-clamp it, and then just basically finish it off and push it in a little bit further until it's completely snug. So you can take it all out now and you can see that's nice and flush. You want to make sure that the insert has butted right up against the hose. You don't want any gaps just because it's going to make the seal probably a little bit less sealed. So I'm going to show you now, if you haven't got that tool, how to clamp the hose. Basically, you get these two yellow blocks, put them in your vise or between some pliers or dog grip things, and then basically the insert needs to be pushed in here. Tip number one, don't be shy to get yourself a poker, a pick, and shove that in there and just open it up a little bit. It's going to really help that insert slide in a little bit easier. If you do it without doing that, I found myself just not being able to tap it in quite enough. Widen the hole ever so slightly with some kind of pick, and then you're just going to get your hammer and you're basically going to like tap it in. At some point you're going to have to hit a lot harder than that. I'm just showing you for purposes if you haven't got the tool. So next up is basically attaching the hose into the brake lever. You know that this brake came as a sealed unit. It's got this yellow plug which is basically keeping it as a sealed unit, and inside there is an olive already. So I'll show you what an olive looks like, because I have one where I prepared earlier. No, I don't think I have actually. So this is the olive. Little gold coloured, I think it's brass. Basically what happens, when you push the hose in to here and then you tighten it up, it clamps against this so the olive becomes deformed, so you can't reuse these. If you're shortening your brakes and they were already a normal set of brakes and you've taken the hose out, you need to get yourself an olive and insert kit. They're not reusable. So first of all, you're going to want to take your little end cap. This is just a rubber little piece that goes over the end of your brake lever and just finishes it off, makes it look nice. So you're going to want to get that, slide it over the brake hose. You can just put that there out of the way. And like I said, if it's a sealed unit and it's got this little yellow plug in it, there's an olive already inside. If you are doing it and you're cutting them down, shortening them, you're going to want to get your new olive and put that on now. So mine's already inside, so I'm just going to pull that plug out. A little bit of oil might dribble out, that's fine. Basically, you're going to push that all the way in. So push it in, make sure it's up against this, like the stop point nicely. You can kind of hold it in with a bit of pressure. And then you're going to get an 8mm spanner and you're just going to tighten this up. So this nut, basically, what's happening now, as I screw this in, it's crushing that little olive, which is a good thing. You don't want to over crush it though. It's crushing it to make a nice seal on your brake. So any excess oil, just wipe it off, that's fine. You don't want to leave it there because mineral oil is not that nice.
Not like olive oil, is it?
It's not like olive oil. You don't want to put that on your salad. So, vital bit that I guarantee if you weren't watching carefully, you'll have forgotten to put this on. Now that's not a problem, so that just pushes up, tidies your brake off really nice. It's not a problem if you've forgotten to put this little rubber thing, although I'm not going to take mine off because every time you undo the hose and re-tighten against that crushed olive, the olive is becoming a less better seal basically. So you can just undo that, take it out, slot this back on and put it back together. It's not a problem, but yeah, do remember this little bad boy. I've done it lots of times. Just slot that on, wiping the excess oil off, and there you go. Job's a good one. Because these were a brand new set of brakes, they've got this little white thing. I'm just going to take that out now, and that will let me use the brake. When you've done a brake hose shorten, it's really easy to get a little bit of extra air in the system. It's not a problem. If you pump this, you'll feel that it pumps out a little bit, and that's absolutely fine. Just means you need to top off the brake with the bleed cup. I've already done a video which shows you how to top off your brakes for Shimano brakes, so the link will be in the description below. Just go and check out that video, and yeah, shows you nice and easy how to do it. Hope that's been useful for some of you. Anything else you want to see spelled out really easy, simple steps, just comment below and let me know what you want to see.